guys, welcome back to Ashley's Homestead Adventures, and I thought that I would just pop in and say hey and kind of take a look around the farm and catch you guys up. We haven't been making videos for a little while, and so I thought I would try to catch you up on what's going on. It is spring and we are very, very excited. The first thing I'm going to show you is I have started a sourdough starter. It's my first one. I am not an expert. I know virtually nothing about this, and I just want to share my journey and let you guys see my successes and my failures, like always, being very honest with you, not claiming to know it all what I'm doing, but just being excited and trying to encourage you to be excited to try these new things and become more sustainable, or try to push your limits and try new things and continue to grow every day. So I'm going to flip the camera around and I'll show you my starter. So here she is. She got moved up to a half-gallon mason jar today because she was extremely active on day 2 and grew out of her quart-sized mason jar. So what I did was a very, very simple recipe. It was something that I saw on Facebook, and it was simple enough that my little brain could wrap around it and be like, oh, I think I can actually do this. I've wanted to start sourdough for a long, long time. I just wasn't quite ready for the commitment, and it all seemed very scary and confusing, and this recipe was just very easy. So I did it. And all it is it's a 5-day process, and this is for starting a sourdough starter. So this is not a like you buy a starter and then you get it to work. This is actually starting one from scratch with just flour and water. And all it is day 1 through 4. I do it in the morning when I make my smoothie. But day 1 through 4, you put 4 ounces of flour in a jar with 4 ounces of water. And so on day 1, you start from scratch in your jar, 4 ounces of flour, 4 ounces of water. You can see on the top here, I have written down, here's my 1, here's my 2 that I've crossed out. We're on day 3. And so on day 1, I put 4 ounces of water in a jar and 4 ounces of flour. And I mixed it up really good. I covered it with cellophane, put a rubber band around the top here. And then I put a rubber band on the bottom of the jar to mark where the starter was, so that I could see if it grew. And then on day 2, I took the cellophane wrap off my jar and I put 4 ounces of water and 4 ounces of flour on top of what was already existing in the jar, mixed it up really good, covered it back up with the cellophane, moved my rubber band to the starting point of where my mix was so I could see if it grew. And lo and behold, it doubled in size. Now it was in a quart jar. So today, day 3, I put it all in a bowl, took the ingredients out of this jar, put it all in a bowl, added 4 ounces of flour and 4 ounces of water, mixed it all together really good, and then put it in a half-gallon mason jar, covered it up with cellophane, put the rubber band on the top, and marked it with the rubber band on the bottom where it was when I put it in this jar. So it's already grown about 1/4 of an inch today, and we will see how much she grows today. Day 4, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to add 4 ounces of flour and 4 ounces of water, mix it all up really good, cover it back up with my cellophane, put a rubber band around it, mark it with my bottom rubber band where it is, so that I can see how much it grows. And I'm gonna leave it on day 4. Now day 5 will be my first discard day. And I'm going to take the cellophane wrap off. I'm going to discard half, and then I'm going to feed it. I'm going to add 4 ounces of water and 4 ounces of flour. And from there, I have an active starter that I can start using in recipes. This starter seems to be going very good, but like I said, I've never done this before, and so we will see. I'm excited, I'm challenged, and I'm super proud of myself, even though it's way easy, but I'm super proud of myself for actually doing it. So anyway, we're gonna go outside and take a look at what else is going on around the farm that's new and see what spring holds for us. Okay, so it is spring, our snow is gone. Super excited about that. You're gonna notice that all the kids are out today. I am off work today, and so all the birds are out wandering around, doing their jobs, scratching and finding yummies to eat. All of the doggies have been washed, and you will notice, to see if we can get Missy Rescue to show us here. Missy Rescue. You will notice these things on all of my dog's ears. These are glue-on earrings. It's with a pet safe glue. They are not pierced dog ears. Just don't want anyone to get alarmed, but they are bling, and it is pet safe glue. And I don't know, maybe you can see Eppie's shining. Nope, she's distracted. But anyway, I just don't want anyone to be alarmed of what is on all my dog's ears. So the dogs all got their spring bath, and the gardens are starting to, flower beds I should say, not gardens, are starting to wake up. And everything is thawed out and ready for me to get back in the garden and start working. Everything is a bit of a mess, but as usual, I want to be very transparent with you guys and show life as it is: real, dirty, messy, and full of life and love. So there's a squirrel. I don't know if you can see him on the fence line over there. Trespasser! Anyway, okay. So some of the garlic in this bed is starting to wake up. The hot plants and stuff are waking up. No asparagus yet. The chickens have been working really hard in this. But my rhubarb is starting to emerge. Show you. Starting to say hello to spring, which is really exciting. This bed has always kind of been a real work in progress. I fight with the lawn. I don't like to use borders because with rock borders you run into having a hard time string trimming them, and with the plastic borders, they inevitably get ripped out by your chickens if you let them free range in the winter, which I believe that there is a time and a place for that. I let my chickens out and let them go through the garden and till and work and aerate the soil, but they do tear up the plastic borders. And of course, because I have dogs, I do not use the metal borders because they are feet cutters. So this bed has always kind of been a challenge, and it always looks terrible in the spring, but it's okay. It looks beautiful by the end of summer. Here's more rhubarb coming up to say hello. It's very exciting. I love my rhubarb. As you can see, a ton of cleanup to do. Last year's cucumbers. I never got my sage pruned last year. We were in the process of traveling all over the country looking for a house to buy, and so there's a lot of stuff that thrives on neglect in my garden, and I think that's true for a lot of people, and I feel like it's okay. But the sage is coming back, starting to peek out. Let's see if I can find like this right here. See that new life on that sage plant? That's so exciting, and oh, it smells so good. My thyme made it through the winter, which here, zone 3, is pretty amazing. We've got new little sprigs coming up. It's looking good. I need to just, cut it back, feed it, The garlic is coming up really well in this bed, as well as this bed. I planted, I think, 3 or 4 different kinds of garlic, mosaic, just regular white. I can't remember all the names right now, but the garlic is looking good. My strawberries. Now, I did something last year, just out of sheer neglect and busyness. I went ahead and I left my strawberries. I left them. I did not prune any of the stringers back, and I did not mulch them. I let the plants mulch themselves. And as you can see, this is a 4x8 bed. That worked like really well. Of course, I would always recommend that you mulch your strawberries before winter time, but if you find yourself without the time, don't prune them. Don't take off all their dead stuff and, you know, cut them down and then leave them naked. Other than that, just leave them. If you can't get the whole project done, just leave them and let them mulch themselves. I mean, it gets really, really cold here. I think the coldest that we had this year was -15, and all of these strawberries are back and beautiful, as well as this bed. This is I believe this is a 6x6 or a 7x7 bed, and as you can see, you know, this is quite heavily packed with all the dried leaves, and these little tiny sprouts are coming back. So that's super exciting. Nothing else really going on out here. I'll let you see the lasagna garden. We need to get the fire pit stuff kind of burned down. But the lasagna garden is looking exactly like it should coming out of winter. It's got hay and cold manure from our sheep and our rabbits. It's got some ashes from the fire pit that I cleaned out last winter, and the chickens are just going through and shredding. And it looks terrible, but this is exactly what it's supposed to look like. I will go through and shovel out the pathways. There's a pathway right here, and then there's also one right there. And mound those back up, and then I'll go ahead and put compost on them, and they'll be ready to plant. I may have some of these piles in the back here that are really thick hay. I'll probably, you know, spread them out to help them break down underneath the compost. But I'll put a nice big layer of compost on the top of them, and we'll be ready to start gardening once it gets warm enough. So there's that. The grass is starting to peak up, and I need to get this yard raked, and hopefully the water can get turned on here soon. We're just waiting for temperatures to not be too cold. My spring bulbs are starting to emerge. Let's see. They're looking beautiful all the way down the driveway. And funny story about this is that Epi, get out of there please, thank you. I planted hyanthus, I planted lilies, I planted daffodils, tulips, alliums, and I put, I don't know, like 200 or 300 bulbs in the 2 sides of the driveway, and I don't know what's what. And I'm not experienced enough in bulbs. This is my first year overwintering bulbs, planting them in the fall and waiting for them to come up in spring, and so I have no idea what anything is. It's like a surprise. So anyway, they're doing great, and some of this area is much more shaded, and it takes longer to thaw out, and it takes longer for everything to grow. But we have beautiful beautiful babies popping up to say happy spring. So I'm really excited about that. Ton of cleanup to do here on the farm. Eppy. And as you can see, we've got some organic compost there. And we have our glorious chip pile, which will be used in all areas of the farm. I'll use it for mulching, I'll use it for bedding for the animals, deep bedding for the animals. I use it for pathways. We just use the heck out of this stuff. I love it. And this is from Chip Drop, and you can go online and look up chipdrop.com. That's CHIPDROP.com, and you basically just say what you want, whether it's okay to have logs in your chips or not. If there's any kind of trees that you do not like, you can specify that. Put in your address, and an arborist will deliver it to you when they are in your area and need somewhere to drop their chips. I love this because it creates a great community in between arborists and gardeners. And us gardeners don't have to go and pay for our chips, and the arborists don't have to go and pay to get them dumped. So this kind of creates a really good community where we are helping each other out, and all these lovely chips go to a good use. So, and these, I made my request, and I'm not kidding you, an hour and a half later, I had a delivery. I've never had that happen. I have waited for months with no deliveries, and this one came super quick. So basically the only catch is that you've got to specify where you want it, and they send you an email, and that's really the only contact that they do. So if you don't keep an eye on your email, you don't really know that they're coming. So you want to make sure that the place that you specified for them to dump is ready. And that's the only catch. But Ted is looking glorious this spring. Ted and his ladies. Ted the turkey with Tess and Tina and Tiffany. We've got all teas for our turkeys, but they are out wandering around, and Ted is looking positively glorious. Strutting his stuff. So anyway, that's really all that's going on. I need to get that tree pruned. It's a blossoming cherry that I kind of let grow funky. And I've only been pruning on it the last 3 years. So I need to get it pruned, and it's absolutely beautiful when it blooms out. So that's on the list of things to do. As you can see, there's a ton of cleanup. The chickens have completely destroyed this bed. And so I'll have to rebuild it up. But the cool thing is that they've gone through, they've turned everything, they've aerated everything. And now I just need to rake it all back in the bed, put the rock border back up, fill it up with compost, and plant. So I love using the chickens and letting them free range. It's gonna get noisy. No doubt Reese's will discover that we're here and want to come say hello in a very loud voice. So my barn is, I wouldn't say it's in shambles, but it needs some TLC. So that's what I'm going to work on for right now. And I will probably catch you guys a little later, but I just wanted to give you an update and let you know how things were going on the farm. Mr. Henry needs a haircut. Don't you, Mr. Henry? Yeah. You need a haircut. Yes, you do. You need a haircut. That is also high on my list of things to do. Let's give Mr. Henry a haircut. So anyway, lots of cleanup and lots of fun spring activities. The farm is full of life. My heart is full of love, and I can't wait to share spring and summer with you guys in 2 different states all the way across the country from each other. What a ride. We'll talk to you guys soon. Oh, Reese's says goodbye. And one thing I forgot was I wanted to show you guys. I will insert, while I'm walking over there, I will insert a little video of baby bunnies born, and I'm going to give you a quick bunny update. Okay guys, we're going to check on these babies. They were born yesterday. Just going to take a little peek in there. Aren't they cute? They're like little popcorns. There is 6 of them. And these are New Zealand's. They have a tiny bit of magpie in them, like an 1/8 magpie. But they are New Zealand's, and it looks like we do have white and black. And they're just adorable. But we'll get out of here. We don't want to upset Mommy too much. Thank you, Mommy. Good job. So the 3-week-old bunnies that you guys got to spend some time with a while ago, they are now in the grow out pen, and they are looking quite adorable and getting big, growing nicely. So that is good. Oh. Hi, Mommy. Hi, Mommy. Well, I don't know if Mommy's gonna let us see her babies, but they are now 3 weeks old, almost, and they're getting quite big. She might not let us in. Let's see if I walk away. Everybody else is doing really good. All of the does are bred, and all of the boys are healthy and happy. So that's wonderful. I know, crazy girl. Vixen is exactly what we named her well. She is quite the vixen. Miss Lily. Hello. You crabby? Huh? Come on, Mama. Let us in. We want to see the babies. Come on, Mama. There they are. Hi, guys. Look at those cute little babies. Hello. Hi, babies. So they are now big enough to go in and out of the box. Just barely. I don't know who's ventured out and who hasn't, but their eyes are open and look great, and their ears are open. Nobody's had any problems. And it's been another successful litter. And Mommy's been a wonderful, great mommy. So that's just a little update on them. Thank you for watching. Bye.